Hello. Welcome back once again. We have another Marvel Snap deck that we're going to play. And today, I've gone a little bit on my limb. I've seen some decks like this, but I've kind of turned it into my own little creation here. It's an Ebony Maw deck. So, the main idea of this deck is, well, a lot of ongoing cards to be buffed. But, there is a sneaky little thing you can also do here to try and throw your opponent off and play some mind games with them. So if we get into the deck, one of the main cards is Ebony Maw. So the reason Ebony Maw is the main thing of this deck is it's a 1 cost with 7 power. A lot of power for 7 cost. But with a massive downside of you can't play this after turn 3. And it has the ongoing effect of cards can't be played here, so you can't play any more cards to this location. So we kind of start off with just a bunch of ongoing cards. We have Armor here, just ongoing, can't be destroyed this location. Lizard over here, I keep clicking Captain America. Lizard. Another ongoing card, if your opponent fills up this location, you lose 3 power. Captain America, ongoing, give all your other cards here plus 1 power. Cosmo over here, who has the ability that when your opponent plays a reveal card or yourself, it will not happen at this location. Sandman, who makes it so you can only play 1 card per turn for both players. Blue Marvel, who buffs every card you have by 1. And Claw, who has the ongoing ability to make the location to the right have plus 6 power. So then we also run Spectrum here, who buffs all your ongoing cards plus 2. While also running cards like Iceman for really good early game and affecting your opponent's cards. And Nightcrawler just because he's a very good card, just in general. Being able to move him around, just be able to move power wherever you want to move it. You can even just leave it in the same spot, kind of throw your opponent off. Now, if you haven't already noticed by looking at the screen, the kind of weird card here is Heimdall. Now, the reason we have Heimdall in here is he's not going to be played every game you play, but what you can do is, if you can get Ebony Maw early onto the left, play a bunch of cards like Captain America, Captain America, Lizard, even maybe Cosmo, stuff that has power onto it, you can shift it all into the left lane with Ebony Maw on the last turn to get a massive power spike. And because you haven't been playing movement cards up to this point, it's probably going to throw your opponent off. They're not going to realise, oh, there's a massive power swing onto the left lane coming. So they're probably only going to have 8 power, or not much, just to overtake your Ebony Maw. Now, the thing is as well, with Heimdall, you could easily swap this card out if you want to be more reliable, just like an American Chavez. But just for what we're trying today is just to see if we can get any upsides, any rolls with Heimdall. I have had a few games before, and it can just lead to some instant wins because your opponent doesn't play around it, because all they're playing around is you dropping the Spectrum and buffing all your ongoing cards. So without further ado, let's get into the games and let's see how this deck performs. Alright, so pretty good to get Ebony Maw turn 1. So we'll play Ebony Maw over here to the left. Since we'll be able to play cards there in turn 4 anyway, so... Okay, so... we're going to play Iceman here into middle now. Just trying to affect some cards in his hand. He's running Collector, what makes me think he's playing a Devil Dino deck. Alright, so what we're going to do here is... we're going to play Cosmo into the right lane. Since we won't be able to play Heimdall in right lane, we'll play Heimdall in middle. Now what we can do here is we can play Sandman middle. Now what we're hoping here is to get another card here. So we've got this into the right lane. Now this will get pushed into middle. He's going to be playing into middle. So I think that's... because well, that will see 2 power. So I guess we're going to really prefer Armor over here. Because when eventually I'm assuming he's going to play, into, the middle here. We're still going to want to have a few cards here to work over. The only thing I would say I regret about this right now is I prefer to have like a Well, right now, what we could do instead is we could play just Spectrum here. And buff everything over in the right lane. And buff something in the middle, buff into the left as well, instead of moving. So we're just going to drop Spectrum now. So the original plan was to drop Heimdall and move everything over. But since we're already winning right lane and left, we don't want to just give up right lane now. So I think we'll just Spectrum here, buff the Ebony Maw. Because here's the thing, if he plays middle now, we win left. So that means he'll lose the bonus power he's going to get over here. And we just win left. So he's going to have to play left here. So, I'm just trying to think, is there anything better we could do here? Is Heimdall worth it to push stuff over to the left, since he's going to be playing into the left, most likely? Then we lose everything on the right and he wins right. I think this is the right play, because we don't want to just give up right here. Because it still buffs left, it gives a bit of power. We're not going to win middle. Like, there's no way really to win middle here. He has played into middle, so he didn't play into the left. Yeah, so I don't think he really had to play for the left side. But alright, good win. That's a good win to have. Just kind of shows that, you know, Heimdall isn't always needed. Spectrum is just a good power spike as well. But yeah, no, so that's a good start for this. You know, good start here, good win, and let's keep pushing. Alright, Ebony Maw first turn, played in lane 1, or in left lane. Alright, only one card can be here for each player. That would have been cool to have had Ebony Maw in there. So now we can really only play into one lane. Huh. We'll play Nightcrawler into right lane. Yeah. This has really locked us out pretty badly. So play Armor into right lane here. Armor, nothing will get destroyed now. What's upsetting for him? Wish he'd revealed first there. But this could also be wasting a spot for him. No, he's just getting the cable out. And I guess we can just chuck Captain America here into the right. Now I'm going to play Claw in middle, buff right lane up again. Okay, it's still 4 power there. Now I'm going to move Nightcrawler here. Chuck Heimdall over here. Into the right lane, which should still be enough to hopefully win, push stuff across. Opponent's retreated. Okay, cool. So, there in the end, there was just too much power, I guess, split over. He knows that we have Nightcrawler moving to the left lane. Yeah, I just don't think he feels like he's going to win that, especially with the middle there. Plus, we have a lot more power in the right lane. Even if we did draw middle, like, he would have no idea of moving it. So, yeah. I feel like just because we had more power on the right and we could dump more, he kind of knew that he wasn't going to be able to win that. Okay. I'm going to drop Iceman in left lane, even though it's going to be destroyed, just in case we do pick up an Ebony Maw. We'll still want to drop that into the left lane. Okay. Cool, very lucky to get Hell's Kitchen. So, Ebony Maw, turn 2, left lane. We like to see it. Because I already know he's probably going to struggle playing into the left lane. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to chuck Cosmo here. as this is going to be really annoying for him to play reveal cards now. Unfortunately, again, we're revealing second. Would have been really helpful for Zen to not be revealing second. Now, I'm going to drop a Lizard and Armor right lane, just to buff all locations. Don't really want to play Sandman. Now, the real question comes here. I think we're going to play Claw middle. Just for this turn, buff up that right lane without necessarily putting a card there. Now, he has played something in right lane, essentially really hurting our Lizard. Blue Marvel right lane. That's a lot of power, and it goes into other lanes as well. Because here's the thing, he can't really drop any more power into right. So Blue Marvel 3, 4, 5, 6. That's enough. That wins his right lane. He can't play Apocalypse left. He hasn't played anything left yet for Volmir or Vormir. So he can only play in the middle there. That still wins us 2 locations. I feel pretty confident with this. So we'll snap here. End turn. I feel pretty confident. Since we're getting that bonus power to each location. There we go. Apocalypse middle. We don't really care. This should be enough. There we go. Very close. Just pulling it out. What a win. We will take that. Alright, so this is my take on Ebony Maw deck. Now, is it the best Ebony Maw deck out there? Probably not. It has a few little gimmicks in there with the Heimdall. Honestly, you're probably either better going for a movement deck with Ebony Maw in there, or an ongoing deck with Ebony Maw in there. But this deck is quite fun, and it gets quite a few wins. So, you can definitely fine-tune it up if you're in pool 3, swap some cards out. If I had to recommend anything to swap out if you want to try the Heimdall ongoing kind of aspect to it, probably would be Cosmo. Just because Cosmo can make it a little bit awkward to play, but Cosmo can also stop your opponent from playing stuff, as you've seen like other decks I've played. But this deck is a lot of fun to play, and honestly, if you're just looking to have a really good time with this deck, Ebony Maw is a lot of fun. This card here, when I first seen it, thought it was awful. Didn't think it would be very good at all. But it's a lot of fun to play. It can lock down a lane for yourself, but it can also just give you lots of power. And with movement effects as well, with ongoing buffs, this card can become very strong. So, that'll be it for today for this Marvel Snap deck guide. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you do like my content, feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you want to see more of my stuff. And I can't wait to see you all next time. Have a good one.